Confluence is a great tool for creating a single source of truth for your entire organization. But the trick is, how do you find what you're looking for in that massive amount of content? Hi, I'm Matt with K15T, and today I'm going to talk about how to get going quickly with the search box, how to filter content and use the advanced search feature, and how to use fancy syntax for fancy searching like a pro. So, as you get started using Confluence Search, I think it's important to know how it works. It's built on the Apache Lucerne search engine project, which is great because that's also the search engine that Twitter and Slack are using in their apps. This is also great to know because Atlassian has added custom smarts to the search results. So literally, your search results might vary. Like, between the person sitting next to you and your search results, you might see different things come up for the same search. That's because every time you search, every time you look at pages, you are training that AI to give you the results that you're seeing. They're personalized and customized to you, which means the more you use that search box, the better your results are going to get over time. So let's search. I could come right over here to the search box and click it to open up the search experience, or cooler than that, I could hit the slash key on my keyboard and that will bring it up right here. I love the slashification of Confluence. So right here, before I even start typing, I have some useful content. So for example, I have pages that I've recently viewed and also spaces that I've recently visited. So chances are, if I'm looking for something I was working on fairly recently, it's going to appear right here in the list. Ooh, and also I can switch over and search stuff in Jira, which is great if your team is using Jira to hold useful information. So now I can start typing. Smart app. Now I get a lot of results here, 18 it says here. And also I can see at least one space with a similar name. Now, this might not be what I'm looking for, and that's really the thing to know about Confluence Search. It's pretty good at putting things where they ought to go, and they do have a certain method for categorizing things, but then it really comes down to you knowing how to filter that content down to really find the thing you're looking for. So for example, I know I'm looking for product documentation, so I'm going to filter for the content in my Smart App documentation space. Or maybe I'm looking for content that was made by Maggie. So again, I can filter for just those pages that Maggie has worked on. Now this is great for some simple searching, but I'm only seeing a few results here. What if there's more? And also, what if I want to filter this content even more? That's what we would do in the advanced search area. I'm on the advanced search page in Confluence now, and you'll see there's quite a bit more going on here. So first of all, you can see I have 19 results now instead of 18. And that's because this shows not only Confluence pages in the results, but also things like spaces, attachments, and what have you. So you're going to see much more appear here, and it will even have multiple pages of results if there are lots and lots. Also, you can do some of the filtering that you were doing in the basic view, as well as additional things like filtering by type. So maybe I just want to search for attachments. Maybe I'm looking for a Word document that I attach to a page that has the word Smart App in it. Also, maybe my team uses labels really well and we've agreed on a consistent standard way of labeling our pages, and so I can filter by labels. So for example, I could search for one of our hackathon ideas that relates to our Smart App app. So now, very quickly, I've minimized all the results to exactly what I'm looking for. Now, there are other options as well. So we have another video where we talk about how you can sort of hack the page titles you use on pages to make filtering much, much easier right in the search box. So for example, if I search for DSG and hit search here, I'm gonna see all the pages for my design style guide. Jump over to that video to learn more about how we do that. Want to get a little fancy with our searching? Let's do it. First of all, maybe I want to search for something like Smart App. Now, in an organization like this, we use Smart App a lot. Both we create smart apps and also we have an app called Smart App. Maybe we should have thought that through a little bit more. But anyway, I want to search for just smart apps in general, not necessarily Smart App, which is our app. So what I can do is I can add quotation marks around this to say, I literally only want pages that have smart space app in them. And now I've filtered out the results really, really quickly. Not fancy enough for you, you say? Well, we can also use logical operators. So for example, I'm really interested in some guidelines that were added to one of these projects, but I'm not exactly sure what. So I can add the and operator, and I need to write it in all caps. If I write it in lowercase, it's just going to think it needs to search for the word and. I'm gonna search for guidelines. Again, in quotations to make sure it's guidelines, not guidelines or anything like that. Now, if I search, I'm not gonna find anything because I misspelled it. It's not gonna help with bad spelling. If I search, I will find that exact page that I'm looking for. So again, I've used some fancy operators to spruce this up. I can also use things like not. So if I wanna find a page about Smart App, but it doesn't have the word guidelines, I can add that. So I'm gonna see my other project page. Or I can use the or operator. So with this operator, I can see pages that have Smart App or the word guidelines on it. So this is really useful when you're looking for very, very, very minute things, but not necessarily something you're going to use every day. And by the way, you can also use wildcards. So for example, you could search for guideline anything, and that's going to find pages where the word guideline plus any number of characters is present. You could also use the question mark to search for just a single character. These are useful when you're looking for things like URLs, where you might not be sure exactly what one or two little characters in the final URL are, but maybe not necessarily something you'll use every day. So there are a lot of ways to make this little search box shine by retraining yourself to get going quickly, filter things like crazy, and maybe get fancy with some syntax. However you do it, we found at K15T, these techniques have helped us create a huge wealth of information in Confluence and be able to filter down and find exactly what we're looking for. But that's just us. What does your team do? Let us know in the comments below, how have you made the search box work best for your team? Now, there are a lot of other things you can do well in Confluence, and at K15T, we're always searching for other things to discover. So please subscribe, share this video with another team that's trying to find stuff in Confluence, and join us for another video as we continue to explore how to use Confluence to do what you do best.